Ex-husband ghosts ex-wife, racks up a huge bill. He clearly didn't think things through. My compliance was malicious for the ex-husband. I'm working in the billing queue in a call center for one of big 3 telcos. And a client calls in regarding a billing concern. This lady calls in, is puzzled by why she got charged a one-time fee $49 for a wireless access point. It's Gen 1 equipment for wireless set-top boxes for Optic TV. She's even more puzzled. Why would she have that charge when she doesn't have TV services from us? And I inform she does. It's started more or less a month ago. She's disputing that because Optic TV isn't available in her area. Now I'm confused. She lives in a small town and there's no Optic TV there. I do a little digging and find out that someone no ex-husband was still her on account and got 3-year contract to get a free TV for Optic TV and internet. She begins to cry on the phone and tells me her now ex-husband had an affair with a younger woman, divorced her, milked her for as much as he could and apparently still is milking her for more. He totally ghosted her, moved to Alberta, changed his email, phone number, blocked her on all social media, etc. In my mind, I'm like, what a dickhead. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry if you cancel the services you're on hook to pay for cancellation fees and so on. I can tell her though, I can remove his access to your account and you can also add on a password. Downgrade the internet and TV to the bare essentials and I can attempt to redirect the TV gift from his address to hers, but there's no guarantee. As it's been processed already, I can hear the light going off in her head. Wait, what? You have where he's living at now? Why, yes. He's got TV and internet services, so there's a service address. She goes really quiet. Says her lawyer and herself have been trying to track him down, but his family and friends are being tight-lipped about it. She asks if I'm allowed to give that info to her. I smile and reply, this is your account. You have unrestricted access for service address, phone numbers, emails that your now ex-husband provided to us to get hooked up. She asks that I can give her his new address, his new cell number and the second number left on the account. Presumably the new woman and contact info over the phone right now. I asked if she had a pen and paper handy. She was so ecstatic. And after giving her all the details from her account regarding the second service address, downgrade everything, and he was a hockey fan and there was a game playing right now with his team. So I wish I could have been a fly on the wall when the game cuts out and he calls in to ask WTF and discovers he's been removed. And there's an account pin and he's been discovered by his ex-wife and lawyer.
I disagree with Opie. I think she shouldn't make any changes to the account yet. It would be better to let Opie operate quietly in the background so he doesn't suspect anything or move again. If everything appears normal, he's more likely to stay put until everything finally catches up to him.
Subscribe now before we proceed to the next story. Police officer attempted to intimidate my patient, loses fight to physics. I'm a paramedic. A few months ago, we're coming back from a routine patient transfer. When at an intersection about 4 blocks from the base, I notice a woman sitting on the side of the road with her arms wrapped around herself and her head down. I nudge my partner who's driving, and we flip on the lights and I see her head come up real fast and she looks terrified. I get out and she relaxes when she sees the ambulance. After I approach, I notice bruising on her wrists and other similar signs of domestic abuse. She seems hesitant to get up off the curb and into the ambulance. So I decided that I would at least pull the cot out of the back and give her something a little more comfortable than concrete to sit on. Now a few important details. All the cots in my service are Stryker-powered cots. You've almost certainly seen these before. They're bright yellow with black handles and side panels. These cots have a motor and battery built in to allow us to raise and lower the cot at the touch of a button instead of throwing out our backs, having to physically lift the cot up after loading someone. They're usually paired with an automatic loading system built into the ambulance that lifts the cot up to the right height to be pushed inside and also secures the cot when loaded. There's a little red tab at the end of the track, just inside the doors, that you press down to free the cot and allow it to slide out. When you press this tab, it simply releases the cot and the loading carriage it's connected to, and it's up to you to keep it under control until it reaches the unload position and locks into place again. This can be problematic because these cots weigh about 125 pounds, about 55 kilograms. As soon as I hit the release tab for the cot, I hear lights and sirens behind me. It's a city police car, which is weird because we had not yet requested police and we were outside the city, in the sheriff's department jurisdiction. We merely informed dispatch that we were stopping to check on a woman at such and such intersection. The woman says something along the lines of, "Oh God, he's here," and moves faster than me. Seeing free food being distributed at base, she dashes past me and pretty much hurls herself into the ambulance, sitting on the bench seat. The cop is approaching and he's pissed. I put 2 and 2 together and slam the ambulance door shut. Let's call this officer Police Officer Steve, or POS for short. POS, is that Bayashi in there? Me, who? POS, you know damn well who I am talking about. Me, you mean my patient? I'm afraid I haven't gotten a name yet. POS, open those doors, I need to talk to her. Me, you're not using my rig as an interview room. You can talk to her at the hospital. We go back and forth like this for a few minutes. My partner at some point came back to see what the holdup was, but overheard my stonewalling and went back to the cab to call our chief. I continue my routine of deny and delay until a pair of deputies, likely specifically requested for this by the chief, arrive. Oh good, now I have witnesses. See, we had stopped on an upwards incline. I had hit the release tab on the cot and it wanted to slide back. I had to close the doors so swiftly. I didn't bother pushing the cot back against the stops and locking it in place. Emboldened by the presence of two deputies, he gets in my face. Get out of my way or I'm gonna have to charged with obstruction. Okay, I step out of his way and he opens the double doors. Between the cot, the monitor, and the jump bag, I'd say there was probably close to 160 pounds contained by those doors, all of which comes barreling out and hits POS square in the chest. He goes backwards and falls on his ass. One of the deputies laughs aloud. The other walks up and kneels down beside the guy. He says, your shift captain is going to be here in 5. I wouldn't be here then if I were you. POS gathers himself up and scowls at me, then stomps off. There is a limited amount that I can say about the aftermath as the trial is not settled yet. But we all know how well charges stick to cops. The woman is now living elsewhere, the cop is still a cop. And I have been getting pulled over at least twice a week ever since then. But the video footage of him getting body checked by that cop remains one of the best things I have seen. Edit for clarification. Yes, the woman is married to POS, and yes, he is allegedly responsible for the abuse, like this video, for 578 years of luck. Next story. AITA for not paying my brother's taxes, not feeling guilty for traveling. I'm mid-40s, disabled vet. I spent years severely disabled *, on narcos and muscle relaxers, walking with a cane, doing PT. Basically trying to rebuild myself for the sake of my children. Nobody in my family helped with anything. No money, no childcare, no lifting heavy water jugs, nothing. They pretty much pretended I didn't exist until I was back on my feet. Now that I'm finally off pain meds, able to walk without a cane, healthy enough to travel a little, suddenly I'm public enemy. #1 because apparently me taking a vacation is destroying their family budget. My brother has lived with my parents his whole life with his 2 kids. And takes up 3 bedrooms in there for bed to bath. Paid OFF house. 3 bedrooms, he pays around $600 a month for taxes and pays for groceries, utilities. A house that size in that area rents for like $2,600 to $3,200. So he's basically living in a 3-room suite for the cost of my car plus insurance payment. But according to my mom, I'm the one not helping enough. She's telling every cousin and aunt that I should lower his portion to $450 or even $300 if my sister kicks in her share. So I guess I'm supposed to subsidize a grown man who works 10 days a month, smokes weed like he's training for the Olympics, and treats the casino like his second home? Make it make sense. Meanwhile, I'm out here paying over $3,750 a month for rent and every expense for my kids, and literally functioning like an actual adult. But apparently the real scandal is me going on vacation. My family basically wants me to be a disabled vet, single dad, part-time landlord, emotional support son, and walking ATM, all while shutting up and not traveling. Their justification. They say I should pay 25% of the taxes, $150 a month, because you're getting 25% of the house, your sister 25%, and your brother 50% because he's taking care of us. Retirement homes are expensive, except I know my brother is never moving out. And there's no way for me to rent out my quarter of the house. So that's not an inheritance. It's basically a lifetime subscription to subsidizing his lifestyle.
Moving on to our next story.
Ada for refusing to take in my in-laws? I, 37 female, have been married to my husband 38 for 10 years. We have 2 children. He has 2 brothers, Henry 40 who is married with 2 children, and Frank 43 who is also married with 2 children. Their parents now need to move in with one of their sons because they can no longer live alone. One of his brothers called for a family meeting with all the siblings and their wives. Henry and Frank suggested their parents should live with my husband, and since I have the most experience. We own the biggest house with an in-law apartment that we use when we have guests visiting, and their wives both work. I'm the only one with a background in nursing, but I'm now mostly a stay-at-home mom. I keep my license current and work 1 weekend a month. just in case I decide to go back to work full-time once our children are older. I said no because my mother-in-law and I don't have a good relationship. She's never been kind to me and we only see her twice a year. Because I don't want our children seeing her do that. I suggested a nursing home or assisted living. His brother said they did look into that option, but neither are options due to cost. I let them know we will not be having their parents living with us, and one of them will have to accommodate them at their home. They said they would not be able to survive financially having their wives stay home. I apologized and told them if they had any questions while caring for them, I'd be available over phone, but told them I would not do it. My husband agrees with me but does think it was a little harsh. His brothers aren't speaking to us right now because they said I'm in awe. Who's going to put them in a bad spot, Ada? Answers to questions. I saw a few people ask about selling their home, assets, and inheritance. They do not own a home, there are no assets, and no inheritance. There is very little money and it is being used for necessities. It's an unfortunate situation. Update. We all had dinner tonight to discuss the situation further. We reviewed the cost of the assisted living facilities and the nursing homes in our area. The brothers decided they could not afford even splitting the costs for either option. They did ask again if we'd consider using the in-law apartment, but my husband told them that would not be happening. After some back and forth, one of my sister-in-laws is going to be quitting her job after the new year. My brother-in-law not working was not an option for them. Due to the salary difference, their children will share a bedroom to make room. There will be a home health aide for 3 hours 2 times a week. My brother-in-law will contribute when he's home from work. My other sister-in-law and brother-in-law will go to their house 2 weekends a month to help and give them a break. My husband said he will help with the increase in bills from their parents staying with them, but that we couldn't contribute more than that. My brother-in-law did ask me to come by once a month to check on my in-laws and do assessments, but I declined. I said if they have any questions, they can call me, but I wouldn't be comfortable being more involved.
Support me by following and subscribing. Thanks.